Hello, and welcome to the Hearth and Hammer. We are a family-friendly D&D show, and we are super excited for you to be joining us this evening because it has been a long time. We've had sickness, we've had vacation, we've had summertime, we've had business trips, so many things. But we're here tonight to play some D&D. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Excellent. That's what I look for, you guys to be good and great. We've also survived hurricanes, thankfully. That's been,
Yes.
we're
Stay
thankful for
dry.
that. So far, I survived a trip to Gen Con. So, not quite out of the woods yet. You never know. Could be a couple days. Could try to get sick with the con crud, but I really hope not. But yeah, we're back. School starts next week? Man,
Monday for me.
where has the time gone?
Yes, it was a wonderful summer. I put on 10 pounds. Watched so much TV. It was so good.
That's
so
good. That's fantastic. That's what summer should all be about, right? It's too hot to go out and work out or walk or do anything active. So just stay in, watch TV, and eat some good comfort food.
Yes, that was the goal.
I
Mission
love
accomplished.
It. Awesome. Well, we are on episode 37 of Campaign 2 in our custom homebrew 5e setting in the world of Zenelia. And so we are going to jump right into our recap, and then we will get started because it's a little late. And this is the last night we can go late, so or kind of late.
Yes.
All right. Last time on Hearth and Hammer. After waking from a night's rest and a passing storm, the crew began packing up their camp and deciding their next steps. Loris suggested moving on to Soleera Costa, to which the group agreed. The party resumed their journey to the capital port city, once again taking the highway north. Vigo, with Skull's assistance, covered the gilded carriage with mud to try and keep attention away from their radiant ride. As they finished their first day, the amigos decided to push through the night and reach Soleera Costa by morning. The party members in the back of the carriage tried to get some sleep during their journey, while Skull and Erebus drove on. As dawn broke, only a few hours remained to reach the city when the party was attacked by a troll emerging from a copse of trees next to the road. After a quick but intense battle, Skull lost control of his bestial form, attacking Vigo in his bloodlust. After Vigo healed Skull, Skull came around out of his frenzy and apologized. Before they arrived, however, Vigo inspected the wagon for damage, taking special attention to the large painting they had plundered from the dragon's hoard, which Erebus noticed. Skull harvested the remaining useful resources from the troll, and then the party continued on to the city. So, Vigo's amigos, you are approaching the city of Soleera Costa. The previous cities that you have been to in this region, a few of them were grand. There was, large city gates. The gates of Soleera Costa put all of those to shame. Massive wooden doors with rock and metal inlaid and gorgeous carvings appear open in front of Soleera Costa. Um, well, let me take that back. The massive gates are shut, but there is a smaller side gate that is open, admitting somewhat not a long queue of people because it is early morning, but there's a small queue of people who looked like they had been waiting to get into the city, and now you are approaching that queue to get in. You see massive stone walls with intricate, um, wood that is kind of like interlaced into the stone, almost like it was carved into it. Like somebody was to, as they were carving the stone, they would reveal wood. But at the same time, there are certain stones that that are up on certain portions of it. In this kind of early morning light, it's not sun is not fully up. You notice that it looks like there's illumination, almost like towers, like lighthouses or something, that are kind of along the wall. And it doesn't seem to be the glow of a fire. It's almost like something is glowing from within. So.
Did we see similar light fixtures like this at the where we first started way back when? Did they use those?
So you saw not exactly. So
Okay.
in the very first town that you were in, it wasn't really the town. It was in the Harvest Festival
Academy.
Yeah. In the Harvest Festival, there were kind of lampposts, but they had kind of like a blue magic glow, what looked like maybe from crystals that were in kind of a hooded lantern kind of thing.
These are stones; those are crystals. Got
These
it.
are like what I'm trying to describe, not very well, is it's like think you've got like this massive wall, and when I say massive, think Gates of Bossing say massive. Okay, like absolutely too tall to even know what's on the other side, and yet it's almost like there are guard houses every so often, and inside the guard houses it's kind of open, but it almost looks like there's a massive stone inside of it that glows. And like I said, that's as about all you can see as you're approaching. You can see small figures walking along the wall. There are guards out front, kind of arranging the queue to get into the city. And you approach. What do you do? First of all, who's driving at this point? It is morning. You had just, you had been driving through the night, and you had just, dawn had just broke when the troll basically burst out of the trees. So it's early morning light, getting lighter by the minute, but it's, still pretty early.
Wow. Look at that. Have you guys been
What's
here
our
before?
first order of business? Trying to find a place to drop our stuff.
I mean, I suppose so. I mean, I'm not speaking. What game is this again? How do we play this game again? I forgot. So Tika Teak is Tika Teak's agreeing. Also probably thinks we should find someone that is in, that can get us in front of whoever we need to talk to kind of catch up to speed on what's going on.
Yeah, I think like kind of main mission, talk to someone in charge, make them aware of the impending invasion, and then see what else the town has to offer, see what we can find out about this clock, what's going on, maybe get a little bit of scoop on the Academy of the Tetrarchs or something like that. Extra Arcanum.
Okay. So you continue
Do we
forward.
ask the guards for directions? at the
Who's
gate?
driving at the moment?
I mean, usually it's me.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not
carriage?
telling the badger what to
I
do.
thought it was Skull.
So Skull and Erebus were driving before the battle. I don't think we established who was driving afterwards.
Well, I'll say that I was.
Okay. You've taken back over of driving Pit Brother.
And yes, so we're going to get in queue. We're going to wait our turn. And it's not a long line, but we'll wait in line to
Did we,
get ready to go.
Did we scavenge like troll parts or something like that?
We did.
Yes.
Do
Skull,
we need
what
to do some with them while they're fresh?
Skull, what did you get?
Sorry, I was here listening, hopping back in. What was the question? What did I get from where?
Yeah, from the troll.
Was it
troll
like
parts.
a troll heart, maybe? And some other things. But I mean, I know Skull had it, so he was on harvesting.
Do we need to do something with that stuff while it's fresh?
Yes, because there was something I specifically grabbed that for something, and wasn't the troll had like a regenerative property to it? And that
did.
was why I tried to extract the heart.
That's right.
It did. You're correct.
Would Skull know where he needed to go to or the type of place to look for to be able to turn that into something useful for the party?
I would imagine, with the experience that you have, that it would not be a difficult search for you.
Okay. Well then, I'll one of the first places we need to find is a way to. Me not knowing the societal norms here in this city, possibly somewhat around people, I pull out the heart. Just like, oh, we need to
Amazing.
go find someone.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Just bloody.
That's what that was.
Yeah,
Thought I
I
smelled something.
very much picture. Was it Dumb and Dumber whenever he has the vision of him fighting the guy where he extracts the heart and puts it in a to-go bag? It's very much, very much like that. I also ended up with 3 vials of blood.
That's
So-
what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah. So, Skull, are you looking for like a guts and such store?
Guts and
when we get into
such.
town?
It's canon. It's canon. That's the store and all
If
big
it's
major
not,
cities.
if it's not canon here, it is where Loris is from for sure.
The local branch of the Guts and Stuff. It's Guts and Such. Yes.
Guts
That
and
sounds like
such.
food and stuff.
Yeah, food and stuff.
So good. I'm so impressed
Canon.
you came up with that so quick.
Canon, that's what it is. Guts and stuff is actually food and stuff, but in Zenelia.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask the guard when we get up there if he knows where one is. Something similar.
Okay. So you all approach. You enter the queue, and there is probably a dozen merchants, a couple families, some individuals that are lined up to get in this morning.
The weird
And
guys we're visiting just here to see the city. Okay. We're not here. We're not making this the most expensive entry into the city. That's what I'm saying. We need to avoid our lesson.
Okay.
Your Skull, your mouth's moving, but very quiet.
Yes, I was practicing what I was going to say. So now I'll say it. for others to hear.
Perfect.
So I'm not a baker this time.
I think
Do you
so.
say that out loud?
Did that? I really did say that out loud that time. Did you guys not hear it? Did it cut out?
No, we heard it. we
No,
heard
I
it.
heard your character says that out loud. So
Yeah, his character says that a lot. Totally.
Yeah. I asked if
Um,
I'm not a. We're not all the way up there yet. They can't hear us, but I'm literally like, I'm already putting on a baker's apron in this moment.
It's just
to play
like
the
it
part.
made it really expensive to get into the last town, so I think that we should just
Yes.
not disguise ourselves as the most expensive way to get into the town for the sake of I don't know what.
Can I be a war priest? I think they're
Right.
probably cheaper.
We should
We could dress up
see
like
if there's any
those.
posted signage about the costs to get in, or I'll
Listen,
maybe I'll
there's no trusting Seth. I was gonna say we can go with just a tourist visa, but no, I guarantee that this is going to be Disney World, and it's gonna be heavily taxed on visitors. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
You see Skull
I'll-
putting
I'll
on.
ask.
You see
Wherever
Skull
we zig,
putting on
we'll
his
zag. That's how it goes.
fanny pack and
I'll try to
Hawaiian
figure it
shirt and dad hat, thinking he's going. He's trying to
Yeah,
play
Try to
the
totally.
figure it out.
or we say we're mercenaries and we can show them this heart. They show
There we
him, like,
Perfect.
And the blood. And the blood.
how big are these vials of blood? Are they like big?
Buckets.
I mean, they're not buckets. They're not buckets.
Open,
I would-
open lid buckets.
I would say they're a standard size vial. I don't have any vials here, but I mean, at least like this big, So it's like
There
a
we go.
it's like a 10-ounce, can of pop, I guess. Something like that.
My small Sprite
Yes,
can.
exactly. Your small
There
Sprite
you go.
can.
Sponsored by
That's pretty massive, actually. So.
That's a
Sprite.
lot of blood.
It was a big animal. It was a big creature. So
It
I
was a
mean,
troll. Also, too, I mean, we haven't exactly established what's canon for, someone who hunts monsters like that would probably have on hand. So
A necessary
if you think
accoutrement.
that is, yeah, I think if you think for Skull and the kind of position that he has in often seeking out some monsters, he would probably have a varying sized of vials.
So would he bring
and
glass
vials.
vials, or would he use like hollowed out horns and things to like what is he carrying around with him?
I mean, that's a good
No,
point.
It's a full alchemist, probably like an alchemist set that actually comes with the class already.
Hmm.
The heart is in a paper sack, is what I.
But the heart is in the paper sack. Yeah.
It's in a
Blood-
bark bag.
It's bloody on
Yeah.
the bottom,
Wrapped
Bloody,
up,
it's
like-
leaking a little
soaking
bit.
through.
Like you would get at a meat market, rolled
Mhm.
up. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
delicious.
Has but it is nice. Like he definitely used like the brown paper, to like wrap it up and then like twine,
Yeah.
Especially coming off that baking,
Yes. Yes.
All right.
So-
All right, so you're a mercenary this time.
Yeah.
I'll try
And
to
then,
I'll try to figure out the situation. I'll try to figure out when we get there. See what I don't want to just
Mercenary for hire. Could we not just say that we're on official business from?
that's kind of what I was leaning towards. Speak to the governor and say we're on official business.
Are we overthinking this?
I think so. So that's what I was going to kind of lean towards.
Seth is like perfect, planning out this next thing. to say, got it slated for overthinking for 30 minutes. I know this party well.
Yeah, exactly.
This city hates mercenaries. Has abandoned them.
Check.
He's like, will not ever give this check-in guy another bell from when Skull crushed the last one.
That was pretty
What
fantastic.
what is this town? Who runs it? A governor or a lord? Or
Absolutely. So, why don't you give me an intelligence or history check, Loris?
First roll of the night, Loris, do as well.
Yeah.
right, 18 for history.
18 for history. Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling up my information
I
here.
have a real quick question. Look at my character sheet.
Okay.
Have we taken a long rest since the last fight?
No.
Or have we just
That was like
drove
right outside
straight
the
in?
city.
Because you were driving straight through,
Dude.
so you're exhausted.
Let me go back.
Airbus is exhausted as well.
Oh, yeah, I do have a condition of exhaustion. There it is, right there. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Where did I put this? Sorry, I'm trying to find where I had my information on this. I mean, it's not like we've been waiting for like a month to play this. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I had it.
I almost spilled my...
Don't do that.
No.
Okay. We're gonna try this.
So we're waiting in line.
Yeah.
Start telling people that we're mercenaries.
You're in line too. Yeah.
I'm a mercenary.
Are we close to the other like wagons in line?
Yeah, so essentially you roll up and get in line behind you. At this point, too, you also, there's people approaching from other directions. The road kind of goes in front of the wall in a different direction as well. There's some people coming from that way. So there is the government that operates Soleera Costa.
Oh yeah.
Is a council of elders of the Sun Dwarves. You know that they have a pretty, let's see, 18. Yeah, you would know that these council members are chosen based on their wisdom and experience and dedication to the city, as well as to the kind of culture of the Sun Dwarves. There are 4 council members with hold on. Let's see. Can't have a council with 4. What was I thinking? I left one out. Okay. Perfect. There are 5 now. There are 5 council members. You have the High Sun Warden, who is the leader of the council, as well as the military leader. You have the Stonekeeper, who is the overseer of the city's infrastructure, and making sure anything to do with stone is done correctly. You have an arbor master with an A, not an H, because Sun Dwarves revere not only the sun and stone of the mountains, but the trees of their home. That grow here in the south, which I definitely have.
So does he manage like the woodlands outside of the city, or stuff, or like stuff that's made out of wood in the city, or
So
both?
he would take care of. He would probably have something to do with that, like any kind of industry, wood industry that's outside the city, because there are some forested hills to the west. He would also be in charge of, or the arbor master would also be in charge of the different gardens, and then there's a kind of a place inside the city that you know of that's supposed to be pretty like a magnificent, like forested area. There is the let me see. There is the there's the high soul there's the high soul cleric who is the spiritual leader of not only Soleera Costa but also of Sol Tiracht, the Sun Dwarven nation. And then there is the harbor ward, who is master of the docks and all the shipping and the shipyards here, where they craft elegant vessels out of the wood that is found in Sol Tiracht here.
Sorry, what was the first one again?
The very first one?
Yeah.
The High Sun Warden.
Yeah, the High Sun Warden.
High Sun, the Stonekeeper, the Arbor Master, the High Soul Cleric, and the Harbor Ward.
Yeah, the harbor ward.
So, Loris, are all these people meeting in the same place? Do you remember if there's like a central location?
Yeah,
where we can
well, I'm
just
not sure
find
where
all
they
the
meet,
government
but yeah,
officials?
it's a council, so they'll meet. It's at the beginning of the day, so presumably they would be in session. I don't know if they meet every day, but
With an 18, you know that they have an open session once a month for any citizens to come and address the council or individual council members. So
you
If your
only have to
neighbor
stay like
starts
3.5
having-
weeks to find that next session.
Your neighbor has chickens in their backyard or something.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, there is an open session. I think with the nature of our business, we could try to get an audience with one of the council members, just to we need to send this important message. So, and then they may meet with us, even if the open session isn't available. So we could we could request an audience with them, even if it's not an open session. But if it is an open session, it would be an easy way to have their attention. Whenever we get up to the gate, I'll talk to the guard about it, see what I can find out.
Okay.
Fell asleep on the phone with all the talking.
I'm sure you did.
So he's
So-
not following the plan. See what happens when he wakes up.
Okay. So you get up to the gate. And once again, this is like a side portal for allowing, it's big enough to allow like a cart or a wagon or a carriage. But it's not like the grand entrance that you see. It's something that they have much more control over who is able to come in here. And so there's a lot of guards, you notice. And they're questioning everyone as they come through. Somebody give me a perception check. Not Skull, he's asleep.
Would Erebus do that?
I would say Erebus would probably be one, but if somebody wants to roll for him,
I rolled a
that'd be great.
20.
We got some good ones
18.
coming
We'll
up
take
at
that one.
D&D
We'll take
Beyond.
the
Yeah.
20. I think is what we should go with.
Sure. We'll say Erebus and Skull are like in the back, like trying to sleep, not sleeping, but like, they've been up all night. So, who's up front with Tika? Was it Loris, I guess?
Sure.
Since you also rolled. So Vigo, you're in the back, and Skull is like dozing.
Well, would Vigo want to be back there with Skull, or does he want some space?
I don't know. Vigo, how do you feel about it?
Oh, that's a good question.
He's not transformed.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah, maybe I would have moved up to the front after.
I can be in the back.
I mean, you could probably ride on top of the carriage.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
So does that put me also in the front, and then he's on top? Or am
Well,
I
hold
inside?
on. With Tika up there, all three of you could sit up
Hey,
there.
who's gonna say?
But Tika is in the middle with the reins, totally. Like, so you've got this like, little halfling, and you've got this tall human and this like tall, Genasi next to you. So,
Can't see left or right very well.
no. Or are you just on Pit Brothers' back at this point?
Probably. Yeah.
Even though you're leading him, you're just like on his back.
Yes.
Okay. So you're approaching. You are there, and the guards let the family who is entering ahead of you in. They're on foot, and they've got what looks like their belongings on their backs, and you hear them talking, pretty agitated about they're here, why they're here. With that, you do overhear them kind of talking about, that they had to flee for their lives, that they had traveled from the south, and that they were coming to be safe in Soleera Costa. You hear the guards asking them where exactly. You hear them assuring them that they are safe now that they're in the city, and you hear them asking pointed questions about creatures of shadow and mist, and where they spotted them. What did they look like? What were their numbers, if they remember those things? So you don't hear a full conversation, but you get the gist that they're questioning people for sure as they come in the city. So,
And they seem concerned about the shade mist.
I would say with that perception check, you definitely feel like they are on alert.
Okay.
You also get the sense that's probably why the gates are closed and they're only using the side portal here.
Mm-hmm.
That rather than being wide and open and welcoming, to this jovial and oddly welcoming dwarven city, the doors are shut, or the gates are shut. So you get up there, and there are, again, you get to the checkpoint, and there are guards all around. You've been kind of going through this like checkpoint where there's guards kind of stationed every 5 to 10 feet, and they begin asking you once you get up there. There's one that it has a similar livery to those that you've seen in Mishoromir, but instead of the color scheme of Mishoromir. Pardon me. Ooh, I had a hiccup and it caused me to yawn. Ugh. Okay. So instead of the livery of Mishoromir, you see there's much more kind of ornate carvings in the stone-like metal chess pieces of the guards here. You do know them to be called the Sun Wardens, and they are the one standing before you who begins questioning you. Does have the rank of a captain. He says, "Oh there. Welcome to Soleera Costa.
Thank you.
We would ask, as we go through this checkpoint, that you be patient. We will be asking some questions before you are admitted to the city. And then if you have a specific place you are heading, you, depending on what it is, you may be permitted to head there, though we may have you directed to a different area to begin with. So, let's see.
I have to say before you start, that is a really nice breastplate. Do they make those locally here?
Are you trying to bring attention to your breastplate at all? Yeah, totally. Yeah,
It's a magnificent piece you have there.
Skull groans.
He kind of looks at you and he says, "Ah, I see you have a well-crafted breastplate there, young sir. Might I ask? Might I ask where you had that commissioned?"
Yeah, we had it at the dwarf city, not too far from here. Sol Tiracht.
Ah, yes.
Friend is correct.
TK, give me an insight check.
All right, inside check. 15.
Okay. You realize that this captain is, while he's asking, he is also kind of trying to probe and see, did this guy kill somebody and take this? He's definitely eyeing him who is this guy and why is he wearing
this guy
something
looking for an
similar?
upgrade? Yeah.
No, he's not looking for an upgrade. His is much fancier.
No.
Oh,
I
you're
was
saying yes.
Is he
Yeah.
looking at are you looking at mine? Going, let's see, we can swap a ruse. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. He says, well, very well. It does look very similar to some of the livery they have there. But did you come straight from there, or did you come from somewhere else more recently?
Well, we're really on official business. We went to Sol Tiracht and Mishoromir and Crater City, and have now made our way up here.
You say official business. What kind of business and official to whom?
Well, similar to what we've heard you ask and the others, we're kind of trying to spread awareness of the shade mist that are coming around. It is
Mm-hmm. With that,
as
with mentioning that,
mentioned.
you do see him kind of perk up, as well as some of the other guards around you here.
Don't we
Yeah,
have
and
orders?
so I should.
We sent with orders.
Yeah, we have orders.
You did have a
So
writ,
I would
yes.
show them the orders if Erebus allows it, and
If not, tell us now. If not, tell us now. We're waiting.
yeah.
We're waiting. Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
Okay,
Erebus allows it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I should say that we were also at the fortress, and there was a larger army there, and we helped kind of fight them off. But we have orders from the academy. We're essentially trying to spread awareness,
Mm,
kind
okay.
of like across Zenelia, essentially.
Yes.
As time allows.
Wait one moment. And he turns and walks over to where some of the others are standing.
Kind of maybe mosey up to Loris out of my. Still tired, but what seems to be going on? What's the hold up?
I don't know. They were asking everyone about the shade mist, and I just wanted to be candid with them. That's kind of why we're here, and told them that we were on official business to spread news of the shade mist invasion, and they kind of worked up and they said to hold on a minute. So we might be speaking with the council pretty soon.
I'm gonna see kind of how close I can get to them. Like it's the edge of the cart. I'm doing something to fix the cart.
Hey, Austin, I think the audio is coming through your headset again. You're really quiet.
Sounded normal to me.
Did it? I could be wrong. I have him at 150%, and he's much quieter than all of you.
Testing 1 2.
There
it
we go.
is.
I need to get a new microphone. What was I saying? Oh, I want to see if I can get a little closer. Maybe it's like adjusting something on the wagon, and then I want to use my keen sense of hearing to see if I can overhear kind of what they're talking about.
Sure, you hop down off the wagon, and what are you doing right now? Are you adjusting the straps on Pit Brother? Are you...
If that's the direction that they walked, then yeah.
I mean, they walked forward away from you a little bit, back to several of them. Are you trying to be nonchalant? Are you trying to be give me a stealth or deception? One of the two, stealth or deception.
I'll just roll
Nonchalant check.
It will be a stealth roll.
Not to be confused with a chalant check.
Non-natural 20.
Okay.
Stealth check.
Yeah, absolutely. You look natural. You get down. You're just adjusting. No big deal. And then go ahead and give me your keen sense roll. Or you don't have to roll for that, do you? I guess.
It's just I have advantage on
perception.
Perception is based on hearing or smelling.
Go for it.
I can also read lips.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I would say the two of you...
Skull completely forgot about that. That is a thing that... So... Yeah.
And that's not even a thing you have to roll for, right? I mean...
No.
That's good, because with advantage, it's an 11 to hear.
Okay. You catch little snippets, just barely, of the conversation. The captain is talking pretty quietly. However, he did go to this group of guards and stand where he can see you while he is conversing with them. And TK, you can see his side of the conversation at the least. And he says, he took the writ that you gave him. And so he says, men, looks like we have some information coming out of... Oh my gosh. Men, it looks like we have some information coming out of the fortress. So I'm going to need a squad. I got a double squad to escort these to one of the houses for questioning and debriefing. So, and you kind of see like head motion of like people talking and stuff, and it says, "Yes, very good. I will return to them and let them know to follow you, Lieutenant." So he turns around and he comes back, and he says, "All right, friends. My name is Captain Thalor Brightshield, and with this writ and this information that you have presented, we would very much like to discuss the knowledge that you have of the Shade Mist, their whereabouts, and anything you can tell us. So we're going to direct you to one of our Sun Warden barracks at the moment to refresh, and then we would very much like to kind of debrief, if you will. So if you'll follow the lieutenant here, and this young dwarf steps up, and let's see.
Dan. Is his name Dan?
No. Says, yes. You realize that it's actually a female dwarf. And she says, yes, I am Lieutenant Alara Sunstrike. Please, if you would follow me. And she turns around and begins leading you forward towards the gate. You see, as the orders went out, there actually the people in front of you were kind of not pushed over to the side, but they were basically like the guards kind of like moved and like blocked a way off for you to kind of go around them because they want to get.
Tika's going like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry.
Like, so sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah. Like.
Skull calls them Skull calls them peasants as we pass by.
And
none of them killed a Shade Mist.
also as you are being directed in, you notice that more guards come from outside and basically flank you to take you in through this portal.
Do they seem like they're protecting us, or they're worried about us?
Give me an insight check.
You to the cavity search.
I would say I would lean over to the group again.
8?
And
yeah, I mean they look like they're just lining up to escort you. Don't really know.
I lean over to someone in the group. I don't know who I'm close by, but just try to remind someone. Remember that we have information that the Shade Mist has allies that can't be trusted. We just need to be careful and be on watch.
Okay. You're probably in the back with
guards,
Erebus, unless you're walking next to the carriage at this point, or maybe walking next to Pit Brother and Tika at front.
I tell Pit Brother.
Tika hears you as you are right next to them, because Tika is on Pit Brother at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I definitely appreciate the fact that you like lean over to Pit Brother to tell Pit Brother.
I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
Make sure he's safe.
He
honest little brother.
He just nods. He nods.
Hey, brother.
Like,
Yeah.
We strangely get the sense he understood you. So,
I tried to get one of their attentions and ask about clerics or somebody that provides some kind of assistance to try to sign about the troll and write it outside and how we are a little worse for the wear, and even going right now to go and I don't want to delay discussing with whoever we're supposed to discuss with, but they
said to refresh at the barracks, right? I'm not super
severely injured here. Trying to, if you could make arrangements for that as well.
Yeah, I'm probably still looking pretty bloodied.
You know what? I should mention to the guards. Yes, if they don't seem to catch on Tika's side language, I'll say like, "Hey, we cleared a troll off the, from the path into town on our way in. and we probably need more than more than a
Powder
cup
room.
of soup and some water
Yeah.
whenever we
Okay.
whenever we get there.
If you're just talking to like whoever's next to you, like whatever guards.
Yeah,
next to
whoever's escorting us, our
Okay.
friends.
you.
Whoever
It's-
looks like they're in charge. They've got the extra stripe. They got the
Right,
extra
right.
stripe.
So the lieutenant, Lieutenant Alara Sunstrike, is leading the group. So I mean, you would have to basically try to get her to come back and talk to you if that's what you're doing. But if you're just talking to the person next to you, then it's just kind of this like stoic-looking young male dwarf, kind of tall for a dwarf, but he's like, very well, very well. We'll talk about it all once we get there. I'm just
Where are we
gonna-
going?
Still
Oh, we're
alive.
heading to the barracks.
Okay.
Yes. So,
You guys typically bring people straight to the barracks when they come into town?
I'm not sure. I just follow orders.
So you've never done this before?
I mean, there's been
Man, I just heard here. Skull is like super aggressive instantaneously.
With the loss of blood, he's lost all tax. Yeah, he lost his blood
Sure.
and tax in that battle. That was
Let's see.
all gone.
I
He's
sense
he's
the
never
tension.
had it. He has always
I
been
said
this way.
I
Give-
tell this kid, hey, you're doing
Skull,
a great
give
job
me-
for your first day. You're
give
doing
me
a
a-
really good job for your first day. and I
give me a
wouldn't worry
charisma
about
check.
it.
Who?
Charisma check? What do you mean by
Oh.
just like a save or is
No, a
it
check.
intimidation?
Nope, just charisma.
Roll charisma. Good. Just flat, even 10.
Okay. He
Skull
doesn't
has a last
really.
name?
Huh?
I said Skull has a last name.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just saw it because you
I
just saw it.
on
in-
there. I was like, oh wow, that's his last name. But
Yes, he does. Okay. So yeah, you he says, I mean, but there could be any number of reasons. You would have to take that up with the lieutenant. So I'm not at liberty to debrief you on the road here. So
It's no worries. We know it's your first day. It's all right. We're not-
Is that
Trying
because you
to get you in
don't
trouble.
know
You
the
kinda
information, or
think
is
so.
that because you can't?
We're not trying to get you in trouble. With
I
your
would
boss or
wait
your mom.
to I would wait to submit any inquiries to the lieutenant.
Okay, so like, what's your name? Can I
What color of a
inquire
shirt
about
are you
that?
wearing?
There's only the lieutenant of that.
He's rethinking his life choices, escorting. Real quick sidebar: is
Mhm.
that a Monster energy drink that I just saw, Dave? Do you know what happens when you hold one of those drinks upside down? What the? Sorry, this
No.
is pre-session discussion. Sorry. Sidebar. We'll
You'll have to
discuss
tell
it
me later.
afterward. Okay.
So he says, I'm Doran.
Awesome. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Skull.
Nice to meet you. Just kind of
Or
awkwardly
if we see
continues.
you on the field of battle, I got your back. I want you to know that. I want you to know that.
That is much appreciated. He's still just like, I don't know what to say in this situation.
Should the Shade Mist come here and attack and murder everyone, we'll do what we can to protect
It
you.
won't be you. I got your back. He wets himself a little bit. He's nervous.
He's
Make it
like-
friends everywhere you go.
he says, he goes, yes, Lieutenant, coming. He walks off. He like hurries off in front to catch up to the lieutenant.
I didn't get a chance to tell that guy how Skull just attacked me a little while ago.
That's what he does to his friends. in
Do you,
battle.
do you say that out loud?
Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's verbal.
Because there is
Can't be
about
trusted.
You say what you made me do. You say what you made me do.
Because you see, there are about 14 like guards in total around you at the moment. So did you say that out loud?
Yeah, just the first part.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You can. Skull feels very uncomfortable by that comment. He
All right.
also hurries up to the lieutenant and tries to avoid the conversation.
Perfect. So you do you try to move forward to talk to the lieutenant? No. Okay.
Just ready. Yeah, I mean, we're surrounded by guards. We're obviously just going to the barracks at this point.
Okay. So you
All
continue
options.
moving. You move through this portal in the wall. You get the sense that it is a easily defensible entrance. There are dark holes above you, slits to the sides, and kind of the typical castle entrance that you would expect. It does actually make a turn at one point, surprisingly wide enough for the wagon, but then you turn again and continue going into the castle proper, and you come out on the other side of the wall. It does seem like it was quite thick, that it was, a fair journey, good 5 minutes to get through what you expect to be the fortification there. You come out on the other side, and you come out into an open entrance. There are more guard stations. It look like there are people kind of guards kind of directing traffic a little bit as you come out, and then are immediately leave the kind of like the guard perimeter with your escort, and get out onto a main thoroughfare. What you see as you enter into Soleera Costa for the first time. Let's see. You see the dwarven structures within the city are built with this kind of gray stone that you're familiar with, but throughout it, besides the wood, there are elements of this kind of yellow stone that look like they have been built in kind of like odd places. And you swear in the shadow of the wall that these yellow stone, are kind of built in this like significant pattern. They're kind of glowing, kind of like what you saw on from the top of the wall. You begin moving through the city, and there is, the buildings are very robust and kind of angular. There's high arches, but the roofs are all kind of like that flat, like the raised kind of flat roof. However, they are kind of interestingly arranged, and almost gives you this sense of like a city block. Almost kind of gives you the sense of like a collection of mountains, even though it's like some shorter buildings, some larger buildings, and some like tall ones in the back on like the city block. You see solar motifs and trees silhouetted, adorning many of the doorways and doors and buildings. Definitely kind of symbolizing all of that to the kind of like three elements that make up the Sun Dwarf culture. So yes, you begin making your way through these this large thoroughfare. You are not too far from the wall, as it seems to kind of be going. As you came out, it kind of goes to your left, and you kind of turned onto this thoroughfare. You do go to this kind of like squat collection of buildings. Very much look like what you would expect a Dwarven police headquarters to look like. It is a barracks. It is probably the least adorned, although it does have symbols of the familiar symbols of the sun, as well as some of those yellow stone in like different corners and like throughout. They're placed at certain intervals among the tops and among some of the, around the doorways and such. But you approach and you are led into a gated yard where they say, "Oh, the lieutenant comes back and says, all right now, if you would, we would appreciate you coming in here and we'll have some refreshment for you. And then we would very much like to hear everything you can tell us about the Shade Mist and as well as the fortress. So the Fortress Den Sol. We
Is this the same lieutenant we talked to earlier?
Yes, the female. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the female, not the...
Yeah, not the captain. He stayed at the wall. This was Ilara Sunstrike.
Can I ask a question as we travel and see parts of the city?
Sure. Who are you asking to?
It doesn't really matter. Maybe the
Okay.
nearest guard.
Okay.
Before I ask, I noticed glowing blocks that are in the wall. I think you said they glow as if they're emitting their own light.
Yes.
Okay. Are they the same color as?
They're kind of a yellowish color, like the glow at the moment. Like when you see it in the shadow, it's kind of like this yellow, this like low yellow glow.
Oh, they're the same colors like the crystals that were, I believe, harvested from those trees.
It is not crystal. It is definitely stone.
Okay. Is it the same color?
However, when you finally kind of get a little bit out of the shadow of the wall, it doesn't necessarily appear to be glowing so much. It looks almost like a yellow, not a sandstone, but almost like a yellow slate.
So I tap the guard nearby. Hey, sir, I've never seen these before. These glowing stones. What makes them do that? Where do they come from?
Oh,
Do you know?
yes. Actually, they are the sun-blessed stones of mind within the ancient Sun Dwarven mines that they collect sun energy during the day and then emit a soft yellow light throughout the night.
Oh, okay. That's handy.
Yes, quite handy as well.
Do people fashion personal devices from these to light their way at night, like lanterns? Is it usually just in construction like this?
Oh, it's more often in construction. So
Oh, okay. Okay, well, thanks.
yes, very good. There's possibly you might find relics, personal items, but typically it is reserved for construction use within the city.
Okay.
So
That's all I was curious about.
yes, absolutely. Is this your first time to Soleera Costa?
Oh, yes. It's magnificent. I mean,
Yes.
my mother always used to talk about big cities. She would say, heart of a large city lies chaos, but order can also be found in the heart of chaos. She would say that all the time.
Hmm.
You know, she was very wise, my mother. I
Interesting.
Start a long conversation with this guy.
He's much more receptive.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Vigo is happy.
Yeah.
Someone to talk to.
Yeah. He you get the sense he's kind of like a fatherly figure that is comfortable listening to younger diatribes of some younger soldiers and the
Nice.
the such. So he just kind of lets you go on, like comments here and there. So
When we arrive, I try to introduce him to the other party members.
okay, all right. When you arrive, when you arrive, you introduce your newfound friend, Sergeant Thrain Goldhelm.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, guys, this is my friend. He knows all kinds of stuff about the city. We're talking all the way here.
You guys really seem to hit it off. That was a fun carriage ride. Listen to that.
The rest of you realize that Sergeant Goldhelm did not talk very much along the way, and that it was mostly Vigo.
We are thankful for his listening ear.
So how is Erebus feeling while Vigo is yet again just spilling his guts, talking and sharing?
Yeah, I probably
Vigo-
tell a lot of, at least start to talk about a lot of our
Yeah.
details of our adventure as
I
we
would
go.
say that Erebus gently corrects you
Dabs.
at
Oh,
least half a dozen times in this journey. And he would say, Vigo, they don't want to hear about that. Or he'd be like, Vigo, let's save some for the debriefing, like just comments like that, like over and over
Awesome.
again.
this is exactly how much gold we now have from
Exactly.
the dragon.
And he's carrying almost all of it. He keeps it in his left pocket.
Look,
Heavy
we even
sleeper.
covered the wagon up with mud so you couldn't see how gold plated it is.
Yeah, he's like rubbing off the
Really, how much
gold,
gold is
the
around
mud
here.
in one section.
Do you know anything about a
Excuse me.
secret society? Skull's part of one. He
That one, Erebus is just like, Vigo! Yeah, you get the sense that maybe this fatherly figure was a little bit of a plant to just talk with the youngest party member. You do arrive at these barracks and are ushered inside. Do you just go ahead and go in with them? Is there anything you're trying to do before you leave the cart or the carriage?
I feel like
I'd
Erebus
to-
would try to make sure it's not a crowd.
I was gonna say I want to do an insight check on this lieutenant who seems to be in charge of leading us into something that we may
Okay.
not like.
Go ahead, give me an insight check.
Yeah, this is gonna go well. Oh, that was almost a nat 20, guys. Still 19, not bad.
Okay. You don't get the sense that there is intentional like deception or anything. You get the sense that they have been probably fielding reports of shade mist activity for several days now. And it's become enough that, things like the gates are shut and they are questioning everyone that's coming in to the city. And then you show up and you're like, well, we're on official business from Fortress Dinsol, and we've got this handy writ of official, recognition here. And so like, okay, we need to like have a serious conversation with these people. So.
Okay.
So
I relay that information.
Okay. So you pull into the yard. Like I said, they're not like at this point. As you pull into the yard, the escort of 14 kind of lessens down to the lieutenant, and you see most of the escort actually turns and leaves. Now that you're kind of inside this gated, guarded, barracks yard. You've got about 4 guards along with the lieutenant who, kind of say, are there with you. And the lieutenant says, yes, if you'd like to secure your wagon, we will have some refreshments brought for you and put you in one of our conference rooms that then we could very much like to discuss everything there you can provide us information about the shade mist. We will have some food brought to you as well. So, do you guys do anything specific before you go inside?
Secure the wagon.
Yeah, I just try to
Yeah,
make
secure the
sure
wagon for
hit
sure.
brother.
Okay. Do you leave him hooked up? Do you unharness him and then just kind of...
I'll leave
do
him
you
hooked up.
Okay.
Leave him hooked up.
Okay.
Where's the
Erebus.
cannon at? Sorry, don't we have a mounted cannon?
It's in the cart. It's not on him right now.
Yeah.
It's like we're just water.
Yeah.
Okay.
This war badger with a cannon on it and a tiny halfling. No. Yeah, you had been stowing it inside, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least packing it on the
Right.
side of it somewhere. So probably on the side so that you could maybe unstrap it, try to load it on faster. I feel like TK would be all about, let's make this, easy to access,
Yes. He's working up a pulley system just to launch it out of the cart onto him. Yes.
Next, it'll be a chair that comes with the cannon off the side of the.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Like Ninja Turtles, Turtle Van style. Absolutely.
Can we?
I shouldn't have given you
Proceed.
the idea.
That's it.
Okay. You all are ushered inside. The guards basically turn and kind of look like they're going to guard your carriage while you're inside. They don't approach it or anything, but they do just kind of station around it. You all walk inside. They lead you down a short hall to a conference room with kind of a table. And there is food being laid out as you enter the room. A modest fare. It doesn't look like it's anything super fancy, but there's some bread and cheese with what looks like some mead and some fruit laid out for you. Looks like there's some kind of like salted meat as well.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I'll do the thank yous, but I want to give the food a good smell investigation against
Sure.
drinks against any sort of
Give me an
potential poison of some
investigation
sort.
check.
Depending on how long this investigation takes, I'm possibly already eating and drinking the food.
Yes.
It's a 6, so not great.
Okay. It doesn't take long before Skull is just kind of like starting to salivate a little bit. He's kind of exhausted, and food just looks good.
Was I supposed to roll that with disadvantage because I'm exhausted?
Yeah, you probably were, but I will take
It's
a
a
3.
taste.
I'll take a 3 plus 3. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Okay. All right. Vigo, what are you doing? Are you partaking?
Yeah, I probably would not hesitate to eat it.
Okay. You sit down, you start eating the food. The lieutenant says, I'll be one moment. I'm going to get my superior here, and we will both return. So you're left in the room by yourself for just a moment. Maybe 5 minutes passes before she comes back. You all do anything besides eating?
Just
Look around the room, see what's going on in the room.
There's
touching
not
up my
there's not a lot
wounds.
in here. There is a podium at one side. You get the sense that there's several small tables that have been kind of moved together for this like conference table, and that's the one you're at. And then it looks like there is several other tables that maybe they're kind of addressed for morning assignments or something there. But the lieutenant returns, and she brings with her another Sun Warden. He walks in and he says, "Hello. Thank you for agreeing to come here today and discuss your travels with us and your business. My name is Investigator Kalen Sunseer. It's Kelin. Kalen Sunseer." He says, I would very much like to get an initial report on where you've come, where you've been, and what's going on with the Shade Mist that you have seen. So, we have been getting rather alarming reports. Some of our scouts have even encountered some out in the plains, but any information you can give is good.
Is there a map in this conference room?
There is actually a map on the wall. Looks like part of it's covered up, but then it looks like there's like a city map that kind of looks like it's covered up. But then it looks like there's like a larger map with kind of like the area around Soleera Costa. There's a few pins in it. You don't necessarily know what they mean.
I got you. Tiki's probably going to station herself towards the map to be able to highlight while they're telling kind of where they're at. She's pointing.
Absolutely. So you go ahead and relay just kind of everything you've been through over the last couple weeks.
Yes. I think
Okay.
so.
Absolutely. You begin, communicating as you can, and as the group does. Anyone else adding to this, or is it just Tika?
I'll contribute it as necessary.
Okay. Just trying to figure out how difficult it was going to be for Investigator Kalen. But yeah, as a group effort, you tell the tale that you have been through with reference to the Shade Mist, and you do see the lieutenant, who has been basically taking notes the entire time while the investigator talks to you and questions you. So after about an hour of going through all these questions and stuff, the investigator Kalen says, "All right, very well. I believe that is about as thorough a report as we can get at the moment. You've been most helpful. We do appreciate your information. So, we have your writ that we are going to present to the High Sun Warden, and if he feels so inclined to discuss this with you as well, then we will have an appointment for you. So we would very much appreciate if you stayed at least for a day while we communicate this up the chain of command here. Do you have a place to stay or an intended destination here within Soleera Costa?
We don't. If you have a place that you could put us, like we mentioned before, we encountered a troll, kind of did the city a favor, took care of the troll outside the city, and we could use kind of a little extra accommodations to recover from that. We've been also traveling all around Sol Tiracht, to help, kind of spread this word. So anything that you could do to help beyond kind of the typical accommodations would be appreciated and really beneficial for us.
Yes, absolutely. We will make sure to get you set up with something. Let's see. Let me get a list of places that you can. Go ahead.
Are we telling people about the clock and what we think it is?
I wouldn't have thought to mention it to them. This doesn't seem up there. I wouldn't hide it from them. This doesn't seem relevant to them at all. So
They definitely were asking more pointed questions about, how many did you see? How many, what's the troop movement? What kind of creatures have we seen? What was the status of Fortress Dinsel when you left?
So we just answered their questions.
Seems a little more mystical or magical, and I would think to ask like a historian or a magic user, or maybe.
But in other words, we didn't just tell them we think that there's a full-scale invasion.
Yeah, I mean, like we've seen with our own eyes, essentially an invasion. There was, when we were on the south end of Sol Tiracht, at Moshoramir, there was like the airships and stuff going on. I mean, there was like pretty obvious signs of.
So from their point of view, they do know that. If they didn't already know it from us,
I would have told them all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he eventually, you see him send off the lieutenant to go make accommodations.
Okay.
You get, pardon me. Within about a half hour, she returns and she brings with her what looks like some information, and he says, well, seems someone has seen fit to give you some first class
all right.
comfort for the time being.
Thank you so much.
This looks like you're going to be housed in the Gilded Golem. It is one of the most famous taverns here in the city. You'll be there, looks like, at least for the night, as many of our lower established taverns and inns are being somewhat overrun right now with refugees from other areas of Sol Tiracht. So, the lieutenant here will take you there, and if you have any questions, we will leave a guard there with you if you need to communicate with us for any reason. So, as to act as a page. So.
Okay. Is there a Guts and Such nearby?
Guts and Such. I don't think there's one close to the Gilded Golem, but there might be in another portion of the city.
Okay, thank you.
Loris, is that a butcher shop? Or I've never been.
It's like kind of like an apothecary store. I'm surprised they don't have more. I'm surprised I haven't seen one in any of the towns we've been to.
Oh, yeah, I've never been to one.
Uh,
You think that's a good place to take all this blood?
that was my first thought. That's why I'm asking. Actually,
You see the investigator kind of like give you a quizzical look, and he says, "This would be from the troll that you all encountered outside the city, correct?"
Yep.
Yes. What the, you know,
It's what
much
the
appreciation
smell
for
is.
much appreciation for taking care of such a dangerous creature, but you may be able to find another place besides that if you do not find it. So,
it might be like an Iridar thing or something. I don't know.
but very well. Like I said, we will be in touch within a day or so.
Alright.
If you have any need, go ahead and speak with the Sun Warden. That will be available to you. So, they do keep your writ because they're going to pass it up through their superiors. But they take you back outside and let you get back onto your carriage and direct you once again with a much smaller contingent. This time it's just the lieutenant and the 4 guards that had been with you. They take you. Sorry?
Can I write his name down? Dunward?
Doran?
Is that the guy I talked to? Is he with us still?
Doran is. He is still with you.
Great. Good. I just want to make sure he's still with us.
Yes,
Keep tabs on
unfortunately for him, he looks like he's not thrilled to be with you.
What about Thrain?
Thrain is definitely there. Thrain is
Oh,
definitely
good.
there. He greets you
We'll start
specifically.
talking to him as soon as we get moving.
Yeah, he greets you specifically, Vigo, as you come out. Once again, just letting you tell him everything that you care to tell him. So,
Yeah, we really don't trust any of these guards here because, like, what if you guys have connections with them? Just picture Rico just sharing all concerns.
And Erebus over there thinks you're all working with the state mist.
Yeah, because it
Doesn't
would be a perfect
trust
opportunity
you.
now that you know where we're sleeping
Erebus
to
thinks
kill
that
us
I'm
in our
working
sleep.
with the
Who
Shaman,
knows what you'll
probably,
do.
So.
Erebus is like, I could go either way. It's like, so you, it takes you a good half hour to get to the Gilded Golem. You travel quite a ways in towards the center of the city, and you actually notice that the wall kind of curves around and meets what looks like a cliff coming out of the kind of like low rocky hills and kind of like where the mountains meet. Kind of close to the harbor, actually. It looks like the Gilded Golem is carved directly into the side of this sunward facing cliff. Its facade is has golden vines and motifs intertwined within the stonework. And this large oak front door welcomes you in. You walk inside. The lieutenant immediately goes to the proprietor there and kind of gives them some information. And they come out and say, yes, here you are. I believe you have some accommodations for you. And so passes out some keys to each of you to apparently you were each given your own room.
Divide and conquer. Got it.
The tavern is kind of this like very warm and inviting atmosphere, but it definitely looks like it's been hewn right out of the stone of the cliff. There's rich wood, from these Soleera trees that are, in the furniture and in the beams of everything. There is a sunstone chandelier that is in the middle of the room. That looks like there's some sort of hole that is getting sunlight at the moment. That is kind of coming down in this early morning light and casting light not only into the room but also onto the chandelier. So that it looks like it's receiving kind of a light that it will get from the day that it will have over the night. But it still has kind of that little bit of glow that you can kind of see. The bar itself is this kind of masterfully crafted single piece of that Soleera wood. It's polished and it kind of has like this shine to it. There is this early in the morning there doesn't seem to be many patrons within, although some of the ones that are here, you see there's a couple sailors looking like they're getting some breakfast, and there's a merchant over in the corner. And it's kind of like maybe some like late breakfast going on as well. But the owner, who hands you the keys, he says, "I am the owner of this establishment. My name is Boren Sunbeard. If you need anything, just ring the bell in your room, or you can come down here to the common area and let us know." So,
Okay.
with that, kind of goes about doing more work with the bar, picking up some platters of mostly eaten food that he's like returning with. And you all are shown where the stairs are to head up to your rooms. Do you continue on up, or do you stay down here? What do you want to do?
Are there any guards still with us? Or did they leave? They
The
escorted us
lieutenant
here?
says, before she actually turns to you and says, yes, I'm going to leave a couple of the guards here so that they could come find us if you need anything. And they will be rotated in and out every shift, but we will have some here. There will be one out with your carriage, and then one stationed here inside. So if you need to relay a message or anything.
Okay. This seems like kind of a nicer part of town, and the city itself is pretty well fortified. Can I ask, like, why there's so many guards escorting us around everywhere? Are we safe?
Oh, yes, very much so. As for the nicer part of town and the Gilded Golem, like I said, we have had a pretty large influx of refugees coming from some of the smaller towns and villages that claim they were attacked, and so the the kind of more common inns and taverns are fully booked up at the moment. So the investigator had a connection with the proprietor of the Gilded Golem here, and so since you are here and have some official warrant, this is why you are here. As far as the guards, As far as the guards, it is really just so that we can stay in communication with you. And like I said, we're going to pass a pure writ and see if there's anything more that needs to be done, or if
if we if we rest up and then we want to go somewhere, like we're free to go about our business, and we can come back to check in with a guard to see if the council wants to talk to us.
Yes, I mean, if you want to travel into the city, I think that is more than acceptable. If you don't mind, I would, like to have one of my soldiers accompany you, just in case we need to communicate with you and try to find you. If if an appointment comes up that we need you to return back. But again, one is just here to serve as a page or communication for you, and the other will can remain with your cart if you so
Okay.
choose. So
I've oh, sorry, keep going.
I was going to say, do they seem like they're being earnest, or do they seem like they're really just trying to keep tabs on us?
I mean, give me an insight check.
So Vigo wants to take a bath. I'm interested to see whether or
I
not-
got 16 on the insight.
Okay. You get the feeling that it's both. I mean, like, they want to keep track of you because they feel like you have been, not because they distrust you, but more because you have brought the most detailed information so far.
Okay,
Um,
that sounds good.
but they
think
but
at
they
this
also
point-
do seem to like trust if you want to go into the city. They don't
Okay.
appear to be stopping you or anything.
At this point, I would probably want to get like a more complete meal and rest.
Absolutely.
I would like to check my room. Does this room have a balcony?
Why don't you tell
Window.
me? Do you think it does?
It's the gilded, nicest place in the capital.
So, as far as taverns go, absolutely. So yeah, you do find it has a balcony. The rooms are hewn directly out of the rock, and the stairwells are on the inside. Kind of going in and out of this like spiral fashion. Pardon me. And yes, you have a very nice balcony that faces the harbor itself.
Is the
Vigo, you're on an interior room.
I really do
Or
want to take a
it
bath.
faces-
We don't have to do that now.
Mm.
so the harbor's out in front, so there's hustle and bustle out that way. People are looking towards the harbor. Is the balcony
Yes.
next to my room open?
Let's see.
Spider.
It does look like one of the doors is open. Yeah. It's
I'll
about
go ahead and see if I can.
it's about 8 to 10 feet away.
How far up is it?
How far up is it?
Yeah. What
It's on the
story
same
are we
level.
on?
It's on the same level. Oh, how far up are you in general?
How far off the ground? are we?
Sure. You're probably on like a third story height at this point, because the tavern itself is like carved into this cliffside and goes up. It's not necessarily, it's not exactly like super wide. Although you don't know how far deep into the mountain it goes.
Is there a wagon nearby?
Is
Or was
your
it-
wagon nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought
Is
it
it-
with you.
With this, okay.
Yeah.
I
So
run out to the wagon.
there would
for a minute.
be
After
there would
I
be
eat
like a
something,
yard.
I-
Okay.
Yeah. If no one else is at the wagon, I'll run out there for a minute after I get a meal. I mean,
Okay. The other guard is out there with it.
yeah, well, that's fine.
Is there something you want to get out of it? Is there something you're just checking it?
Just want to do something.
Okay. Do you need to message me?
I already did.
Okay.
I don't know the jump features, but I would like to go ahead
Your
and
stories,
hop over,
baby.
hop over to the other balcony. I want to listen first, see if anyone's over there.
Okay.
Hear anything? It's the morning. It should be up. Might even walk past the room, give a quick listen.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
17, and it is listening.
Okay. Absolutely.
So the second one is a nat 20.
Okay. So you hear with exquisite detail Dave, how excited for this bath are you? That's what you hear.
I'm pretty excited.
That's his room?
Apparently so.
It's
I
the bath
would've-
is in my room though. I figured it'd be like there'd be a
Oh, this is the Gilded Golem.
spa or something, where I have to walk to it. But yeah, if it's my interior room, I'm probably in mid bath. There's a bunch of bubbles, and I have one of those old timey scrub brushes, doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I checked the other room in the other balcony,
Okay.
knowing full well that's Vigo, and
Oh yeah, you know.
I'm probably singing some kind of a song
Totally.
loudly.
Totally.
so with my natural 20, I'm glad I can hear that with the balcony door open.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, you hear that. You look on the other side of you. There is another balcony. The doors to that one are shut. As far as if you hear anything, you do hear someone in there. I mean, at this point, it's probably close to noon. Going through entrance into the city, going through your discussion with the investigator, and getting, traveling to your accommodation. So,
Okay. How much do these rooms cost? And we got it for free. Or would I know roughly?
for now, you have it for free. You have not inquired as to the cost yet.
I knock on the door next to mine.
Okay. One second. Okay. So you knock on the door. Takes about 10 minutes. And then the door, swings open really fast. And you see this dwarf kind of standing there, a little tired, beleaguered. He says, looks way up at you. He says, "Who are you and what do you want?"
Well, first off, I'm Skull, and I'm so sorry to bother you. I have a unique gift of hearing the smallest of noises, and I have a slight complaint with my room next to me. You probably wouldn't even be able to hear it, but I was curious if I was able to pay you double of whatever your room rate is, and for us to switch rooms. There happens to be someone singing loudly in the room next to me, and
He
I have
kind
traveled long night. I need just some rest.
He kind of chuckles and goes, "Oh, I understand the need for rest. I've been out a little too long this morning myself. I'll tell you what. I'm Boren Ironfoot. And, well, give me a few minutes to collect my things, and, well, I'll let you swap rooms with me. What, are you in the one to which direction?"
The one right over there where I just came from. 'Cause I know that.
Well, I
direction.
didn't see where you just came from. I see you at
No.
my door.
I point to where my room was. I don't remember which direction it was that it came from.
He's like, oh, very well, okay. Yes, absolutely. But in addition to your payment, you have to let me ask you about your travels and maybe bend your ear with a story of my own.
Yes, of course. I share stories best over pint and ale in the
Oh.
evening.
Well, have you tried the Sun Brew Ale?
Did I try that in the other town? I don't think so.
No.
No, but tell you what, I'll take you up for that after some rest in the evening.
He like slams his hand against the side of the door and he says, "It's a deal." And he's like, "If the first round's on you, we'll make it so. Give me a couple of minutes." He turns around, he like goes back in. You hear him like he doesn't shut the door all the way, but you hear him kind of like rustling, and he's like taking some stuff and putting it in there. He comes out. A moment later, he's got what looks like some sort of like overcoat on. You see he has like a bundle wrapped under his arm. Looks like he's got like some clothes, but then also just like some tools and stuff. And he's like, "All right, it's all yours for that first drink and a day's fee, mind you."
I'll give him whatever that is.
Okay.
You can tell me afterward if you need to. Or he probably sees me carrying also various tools because I have like the leatherworking, the.
Sure. I mean, you're full decked out in traveler's gear stuff, so.
Okay. Yeah. So we switch rooms. I'd probably try to say something like.
He tells you it's a gold a piece per night.
Cool.
So he says, yes, the private rooms, they are a gold per night. If you're
gold.
You're in there.
If
yes, absolutely.
If you could also keep it on the DL that I was needing to switch rooms for my beauty sleep. I'm not sure how it might go over with my party.
Very well, very well. Might cost you another drink, but we can arrange something.
Gladly.
Perfect. And so he says, "All right, well, I'll leave you to your rest. I need to go downstairs anyway. It's about that time for that midday meal." Kind of like pats his belly. He like opens the door to your old room, and you hear just like some it pretty much sounds like he just like threw his stuff in, like on whatever table was in there, just kind of like, whoa, kind of thing. He comes out a moment later and he says, "I'll see you down later this evening." So he goes downstairs.
And I shut the door, lock the balcony, check those doors, wedge something on the front door where it can't be opened, and Skull immediately passes out.
Okay. How do you wedge the door?
Yeah, I can use a heavy because it would open inward. I use my javelin.
Okay, so you're just trying to like shove it underneath it to kind of
shove it, put it like the poked into the door in the wall, or you put the butt of it into the door leaning where the pokey end kind of gets into the wood slats in the bottom. Just a way to kind of wedge those things.
Sure. Give me a strength check.
Oof. Nat 1.
Okay.
But it's a 6.
All right. You know, your javelin's not super sharp, but you kind of tear up the door and the floor as you're trying to get it in there. Like it's like you're so exhausted. You're like, dang it, kind of thing. And you can just imagine how much it's going to cost you to, So, but you
Fix that.
eventually get it there. You think.
Room's not in my name.
All right. What are the rest of you doing? Vigo's taking a bath, obviously.
Yeah, I ate lunch and I go out to the wagon.
Okay. Give me a roll.
What am I rolling? It's
Exactly
not
what
good
you told
either
me.
way. Oh, got you.
Seth, I don't know if you've seen it, but I sent you a wagon related.
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Just in case you had forgotten.
I don't think it was. I think it's too big.
It's rolled.
It was like 20 foot tall.
But not that wide.
It was big enough for a dragon to admire
All right,
as like
all right,
a piece
fine.
of furniture.
Fine.
there's no rolling for this spell.
Okay. Hold on.
I just sense the presence of magic within 30 feet.
Oh, I mean, like if you're doing that, then, I mean, you're gonna get several sources of magic around you.
Oh yeah. Well, do I see any? And then I would investigate. Like try to.
I will say the object that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Vigo, give me a stealth, sleight of hand, something.
I know what was going on.
Or if you have an idea of how you would have get it, you know, secret it away.
Oh jeez.
Stealth is 23. I
Okay.
have +5.
What am I rolling?
You can all roll this. It would probably be a perception. So I would say
18. So presumably not good enough.
Okay.
I used up a good roll.
so. Essentially, you don't find the item you're looking for, Kyle.
Like
As
like at all.
as you
Don't
attempt-
find it?
You don't find it in the wagon as you attempt to go out and look for the rolled up painting. So,
It's weird.
so yeah.
Well,
Let me see. Hold on.
is Vigo out there, or is it just me?
Vigo's not out there. No.
It's pretty weird that it's not in there.
I mean, you weren't really watching him when he unloaded from the wagon, so maybe.
Yeah. Must be a
So.
room.
Okay. Tika, is there anything else you were doing before you?
Before heading in the room or staying in the room?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, probably, spending a little more time on the balcony in the back, just kind of observing, just seeing kind of what's going on. Not exactly tired yet, so probably doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot though. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'll probably go to my room and just kind of settle, like, put my stuff down. It's pretty weird that painting wasn't in the wagon. Doesn't really make sense to carry it around.
True, since it would be like rolling up a carpet and taking it inside.
Yeah, like kind of basically bolsters my existing suspicion that I wanted to go out there to begin with. So.
But yes, you
okay.
you do not find it. I mean, like I said, there's other things in the wagon that you detect.
I guess I should
not
at
really,
least say
not really in the wagon. I guess you just detect
Yeah.
magic in the area. on
I should say,
people.
like, was there anything that was magic that we had in the wagon that I didn't maybe realize? We already knew we had a handful of magic items.
Yeah,
So there's no
honestly,
surprises out
it
there.
would be nothing that you didn't know about already,
Okay.
as far as the
Okay.
items in the wagon. So,
Yeah.
You had the few items from the horde, the dragon horde that you kept on the wagon. The
Yeah.
rest, I think some of you, the ones that you had on your person, obviously you don't detect if they're upstairs, but
Mhm.
yeah, nothing
Well,
there. So
Yeah. And I guess the spell lasts for 10 minutes, so maybe when I walk back in, the gilded golem kind of roam around and get my 10 minutes worth out of the spell before going to my room. But let's see if there's anything interesting.
okay. CJ had to head out since he does have to work tomorrow. So apologies.
I probably need to do the same thing here in a
No.
few minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. Real quick, welcome in Raiders, the Dungeon Delver group. Thanks for joining us. We are doing excellent. We have been adventuring in a homebrew world known as Zenelia, and we are playing 5e. So, but the party, the Vigos Amigos, have made it to the capital city. Oh, he's back. I thought you were like, I'm out.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there real quick.
No, you're good. So you all kind of adjusting yourself to your room, maybe going down to the common room of the tavern here, the Gilded Golem, and you are set to maybe go out into the city after a meal. And I think we are going to call it for the evening there, since it is late for you. I apologize for that, CJ. Kind of all thrown off by stuff tonight. So, but to our raiders, again, thank you, Dungeon Delver Group, for coming in with that raid of 8. Hello, Toxic Chicken. That's a fantastic name. And Dungeon Delvers, we're doing great. We have missed playing together for like a month because of vacation and sickness and all sorts of things, and a trip. I just got back from Gen Con, and so much going on. But CJ is a teacher, and he needs to go to bed. So, CJ, if you want to go ahead and hop off, love you, man. Thanks. Hope you have a good rest of your week. And yeah, we'll have that conversation you sent me in our private chat.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So, all right. Well, Dungeon Delvers, we are Hearth and Hammer. We're a family-friendly D&D group. A bunch of dads and friends who just love to play. And so, like I said, we're in the homebrew world of Zenelia, and we are in a coastal city of the Sun Dwarves. So, we'd love to have you all come back next week. We usually are playing on Tuesday nights from 8 p.m. Central Time to 10 or 10:30 Central Time, but got started a little late, and so here we are. Would love to know what you all were playing or doing. So, to my party, next week, we'll see if we can't make it happen and have Erebus or Solus here with us as well. Play every other Friday and then the off Saturday. Nice. 5e homebrew. That's awesome. 5e is, like the comfort system, I think. Like, it's something we've all played a lot. Pretty easy to homebrew for us, I think, at this point. But yeah. Guys, I did want to just tell you real quick. Gen Con was awesome. CJ had to leave, but I got to play test the Brandon Sanderson RPG, the Cosmere RPG, or what was called Stormlight RPG before that.
Oh.
It's awesome.
I've been recently getting their ads.
I am not surprised. If you have not ever read any of the Stormlight Archive books, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Mistborn is also really good. It's kind of crazy. He's been writing these books over a decade. And he writes them so fast, and they're like all crazy. Yeah, 5e is a great ramp or onboarding for new players, 100%. That's actually I've done that as well for several people. So yeah, coming from 5e, the Stormlight RPG, I think is going to be a really easy transition for players. It adds a little bit of a narrative dice element, kind of similar to like the Star Wars RPG. It has a plot die. The way they do it is actually really pretty cool because it's not just on the D6 plot die, but natural 20s and natural 1s also contribute to the plot points that they have assigned to it. When you roll for a check, you roll everything at once. You roll for for an attack to hit, you roll for damage, and then you may roll the plot die all at the same time. Advantage and disadvantage stack, which is another difference. They don't cancel each other out, so it's you can actually set up some like really big things. Also, too, you can have advantage or disadvantage, and if you are rolling, depending on how you're rolling, you can actually get advantage on like the damage die or the plot die, or the GM could tell you you have to roll 2 dice with disadvantage on the plot die, and then you've got to take whatever you get from that. There is not any initiative order. Instead, it's got this pretty interesting mechanic that does use action points, but it's the most elegant I have ever seen, in that it's not like Pathfinder or even DC 20 where the action points are used for everything, including reactions and stuff. It's only for the things you do on your turn. And it's only the way the initiative works, you have player fast actions. So there's a card that when you're sitting at the table and you choose every turn if you want to do a fast action or short or long actions. And if you do fast actions, you get 2 action points essentially. And if you do a long, you get 3. And so it'd basically be like, hey, I'm going to choose to go first so that I can act before the NPCs do. And so rather than having, say, a movement, a bonus action, and an attack, I'm going to give up one of those to basically, maybe use an ability and an attack, or move and use an ability. And then, so it's player fast action, NPC fast action, player slow action, and then NPC slow action. So, and
So
you can actually change it.
Didn't you sign an NDA for this game?
Sure did not. Plus the beta rules are out and free right now. So
I thought I'd wait till you finish the.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, in fact, Jeff and I did not get tickets to this. It was sold out, and we didn't get our Gen Con badges until we got there, so we couldn't sign up for anything. We went and hung out in the room trying to get into a play test for a couple of hours, and then left and came back an hour early for the last session on Saturday night. And the dev who was running it was actually a dev and a writer, and he was like, I remember you guys, you're the first ones in line for my alternates. I'm gonna make sure you get in, and I'm gonna make sure you're at my table.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, and he talked to us for like the whole hour that we were there waiting. And so we got a lot of insight into it. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
And again, if you don't know the universe, it is a fantasy universe, but it is completely non-traditional and different than anything else. Who is this? Oh, Kyle.
I do have to hop off,
So.
though.
All good. All good. I do too. So
Do I need to click short or long rest for my character if I'm...
if you're going to try to take a
Are
long
we going
rest
to be
during
there
the day,
that long? That's my question. Are we going to be there long enough to all do a long rest, or is that going to be
well,
in the evening?
I
'Cause it's like
believe,
noon.
yeah, it's noon. I believe that you, Loris, Vigo, and Tika
CJ.
all got long rests in the
Yeah.
wagon.
Oh,
Erebus,
okay.
yeah, Erebus and Skull stayed up all night to drive the wagon overnight and get you there by morning.
But when did we fight the troll?
Yeah, I
Right at
thought that we fought the troll after that.
Yeah,
rest.
you did. It was right
Yeah.
at dawn. So you could
'Cause
definitely
I've
take.
used a bunch of spell slots.
So you could definitely take a short rest, but I would say you probably wouldn't be able to go back to sleep until later in the evening, even if it was like an
Yeah.
early evening. But so I would say no long rest yet. So
Okay, short rest it is.
I mean, if Skull goes to sleep, he could probably get it, but we can talk about that next time. So
All right.
awesome.
I'll
Well, next time we'll start earlier. So
yeah, for sure.
awesome. Good night, guys. If you need to hop off, I'm gonna chat to Dungeon Delvers here for just a second.
Okay.
So it looks like, so I do initiative a little differently. I go highest number, bounce back and forth from team and team. So it goes player NPC, player NPC. Oh, nice. That's good. That's awesome.
I know how to.
All right. We'll catch you later.
Well,
Um,
I used a lot of my hit die for just short rest,
Good call. Good call.
so I'm back to full health, knowing that
Okay.
he's probably going to try to long rest a little bit later in the day. All right,
Awesome.
I'm out.
Awesome.
See you.
Good night, Austin.
Thank you, Raiders. Appreciate you being here.
Yes, for sure.
Have a
For
great night.
sure.
All right, bye.
See you, man. All right. Dungeon Delver group, again, thank you for coming in. Sorry that it was like right at the end of our session here, but would love to chat with you again sometime. Drop us a follow. Like I said, it's usually Tuesdays from 8 to 10 or 10:30. And then yeah, would love to chat some more. So always up for a good conversation about some D&D or other TTRPGs. So anyway, we're going to jump off for tonight. And hope you have a good rest of your week. Good night. God bless. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.